why is Giannis and Dame seem to be just working unbelievably well right now?
Why is it working? Because it's Giannis and Dame. What do you mean? That's
obvious.
That's obvious answer, obviously. Welcome to another episode of the Thanalysis show with your one and only Thanasis Antetokounmpo and my guy Tony C.
What up, man? How's it going?
Did that sound like Cristiano Ronaldo? Was that Cristiano Ronaldo? No.
No, that would that's our next guest. That's why you did it that way. That's who's.
I hope it's not our next guest.
That would be something.
Everybody's been asking. We haven't done an episode in a while. I mean, probably a week and a half or so.
A week, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, a week or so. But it's been crazy. NBA has been crazy. Outside of the basketball's been crazy. Just a lot of stuff. But we'll touch on it. So, again, I want to thank you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe on the channel. Please comment. Please let us know what you think. And please follow our audio on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever you listen to your podcast from. Leave a review. You guys are amazing. Let's get it, Tony.
All right, I want to start off with you guys have the AntetokounMpo store here in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm recording at. And they reached out to me. They asked me to promote a little bit, something new you guys have going on. So, and you obviously know a little bit about this.
Oh,
but they let me know there are now Nike jerseys available inside the store, including all the Giannis ones. So if you're looking for a unique Giannis jersey, they are available in the store.
No, you gotta, Tony. This is podcast. This is radio. You gotta promote better.
I gotta promote better. All right, fellas, give me some notes.
You gotta put your hoodie on. Hey, fellas, in our store right now at the AntetokounBros Milwaukee store across the stadium, underneath the Trade Hotel, you can now find this is gonna be your Giannis hub, your Greek Freak hub. You can now find his jerseys, Greece jerseys, Milwaukee Bucks jerseys, his Nike shoes, everything that's related to the brothers, to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the next sportswear brand. You can find it. Come onto the store, and you get special discounts if you're a Prime member. And that's how you promote. Thank you.
See, I gotta take lessons. I've only been doing this for like 6-7 years. No, you just jump in the game. I was trying to tee you up to promote it, but no, you did a much better job. So we're good. Perfect. Speaking of the Bucks, just because you said we hadn't recorded you and me in a while, I know we released the episode with Cameron earlier this week, but since we last recorded, the Bucks.
Such a cool dude, man. Such a cool dude. Yeah. I texted him too. I was like, bro, it was great, man. It was great. This interaction with him. And I think I just realized after the podcast came out and how many people text me, I just realized that it's so crazy. Everybody thought it was like, whoa, we'd never expect you guys to be in the same room just because of like the entertainment stuff and stuff,
for
the
sure.
Back and forth. And I'm like it's entertainment, bro. It's like, and it's he's a great guy. Like he's really and obviously a great actor too, like rapper.
Dude, I used to listen to Dipset before every game, and I was way too probably young, 4th, 5th grade, to be listening to Purple Haze and some of these albums, Diplomatic Immunity. But that music ran the early 2000s, 04, 05. Cameron was running the rap game for a minute there, and then he had beef with Jay-Z publicly, and he was everywhere. So when we did that one, that episode, but the first question you asked him, it was about is it ever personal with players or with people? And he had a real answer for you. But listening back, I got inspired by it because he was talking about, he's like, every time you turn on TV, whether it's this network, this game, it's all people in suits, and everyone does kind of the same thing, right? It's very traditional. Sports media is kind of traditional. And then I realized we have this platform that we can talk about basketball, and Cam was talking about being the voice of urban America when he's doing his sports show. And I think that's real. You can just talk about things so differently and be the voice of people. And that's why we love to get fans involved. We ask for questions from fans, which I got a bunch for you lined up here in a second too. But I just think it's cool. So that episode was great. Cam was on another level.
I loved it.
And it was good.
I loved it. It was great. And it was kind of, I think, it was in Vegas. That's what people kept asking me, oh, did you do it? I was like, no, guys, I did that. Well, when we were in Vegas. But it was great, man. It was great. So
I want to start off just since we last recorded the Bucks 4 straight home games, 4 straight wins. Just your thoughts.
As they should. As they should.
Yeah, as they should. I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on kind of how that 4-game homestand looked and where this team is right now. Because Dame and Giannis, they're on another, what do you call it, masterclass? After a couple games, they've put on a couple master classes the past couple weeks.
Yeah, they have, and they're very locked in, and it's just like this energy is playing great, and I think playing at home as well helps this free flow of things. There's another thing as well too. You're just figuring it out, and because what happens is this flu, just hit them, hit their locker room crazy. I think it was just not just the Bucks though; it was the whole NBA. Just hit like everybody. I mean, the entire world actually. Everybody was kind of sick, and last couple of games, and guys came back and wasn't just feeling like their body. Yeah, because I think one of the things nobody says, and this is more of a medical thing that we're talking about, but like, if you've noticed that like when men and athletes get sick, they just go really through it. You're like, dang, like I'm sick, but this is crazy. Other people get sick, and it's because the more muscle you have, it hits your muscle, and especially if you're fatigued, it does hit your muscle, it does hit your immune system. You're like, okay, because your immune system is attacking it faster to fight it, and it's like this whole battle between whatever. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but like it feels like I never get sick, but if I get sick, it feels like I'm like, wow, what's wrong? Other people get sick, I'm just like, whatever, just brush it off. So it does have to play with having a lot of muscle plays a big role. How big you are, and and how much work you put in too, like fatigue and games and weights and blah blah blah. So it was just crazy.
Let me ask you real quick with that people. I don't know if the average fan can fully comprehend, because when you had Dwight Howard on the show, he talked about his conditioning was on another level, right? And that's how he was able to play 48 minutes. He was fine. When you get sick or you miss a week because you turned an ankle, whatever it is, there's getting into shape, and then there's getting into game shape. Like, those are two totally different things.
It's two totally different things. The in shape is I just don't get tired, and the game shape is the feel. When you see guys miss layups, like, oh shoot, something's wrong. He might not be, maybe he hasn't played for a minute, or he's not feeling strong enough to his body. Let me put it like this: being in shape is just you running up and down and feeling okay, like I can run up and down and not get tired. But being in game shape means your whole body is in tune, right?
Gotcha.
Your whole body's feeling I'm in sync, being in game shape.
Like your form on a 3-point shot is not going to look different late in the game versus early in the game.
Yeah, because you might not put a lot of legs into your shot. Jump more, jump less. You know what I'm saying? Or could be you're tightening too much and not loose enough. This could be the same.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about like physiology
the rest of your
body.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting for people to kind of realize that just with the way players can miss time, with an injury or sickness or whatever, and then once they're back, it's Chris Middleton needs to be Chris Middleton all over, whatever it is. The old Chris Middleton in game one after missing half the season. Like, it doesn't really work that way.
See, don't get me wrong. Some people can, sometimes you can do it. Sometimes you just need a little bit more time, and one thing about the NBA, sometimes you have more time, sometimes you don't have time, right? And the times you have more time is like, we have more time to build the team's continuity and team's chemistry to get where we want to be. But sometimes you don't have time to adjust, because if you're losing games, you don't get that chance. So I think it's been more vocal into saying that, hey, what are we going to do in terms of bringing guys to the starting lineup, to coming up, because you don't got to understand, if you haven't played, coming back is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of it. So.
All right. So as we continue here, just the the last 4 games, as we've kind of started talking about a little bit, and even you can go in the last couple of weeks now, from your perspective, because I think Bucks fans want to know, and we're going to do a whole Bucks episode as well at some point. But why is it working? Why is Giannis and Dame seem to be just working unbelievably well right now?
Why is it working? Because it's Giannis and Dame. What do you mean? That's
Simple as
obvious. That's obvious answer, obviously. But I think the other thing you'd say too is I think team chemistry plays a big role, and coaching. Now he's doing a good job, and then you just got to stay on it, and keep playing, build good habits.
I almost texted you this the other day, so I forget what Bucks game it was. I use like to play on one of those like daily fantasy sports apps, and you pick over unders for players. I never pick the under, never, because I always like, all right, Giannis is going to go for points, rebounds over 35, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
And I had I made a parlay with 7 of them, and I don't know why, but I was looking at minutes and something, and I'll tell them this, and this is my fault. Bobby Portis's over-under for points and rebounds was like 23 or something. And I took under.
Points and rebounds, 23, okay.
Points and rebounds combined, and I took under. The only time I've ever taken under on a Bucks player, because I like to root for the over.
Why would you take under Bobby Portis?
Bro, I don't know. I looked at, I think the night before he didn't play a ton of minutes, or it was like a back-to-back. It was something where I was just like, I don't really love the matchup, whatever, so I took under, right? Yeah. All 6 of them hit. Over under AJ Green threes, Giannis points, Dame assists, hit. The first time I took under on Bobby, I lost. It didn't hit. That's he went over by 6. That was Bobby.
Of course.
I doubted you, and I apologize.
No, you got to apologize to Bobby, man.
Oh yeah, no, that's on me.
These guys,
that's on me.
Man, you know what it is too? It's just I don't think people realize how. This last 2 seasons has been so weird. It's been so weird for the Bucks fan base in general, just for Milwaukee. And now they're starting to build something. But that's how it is. Sometimes it just has to get a little bit wonky and weird to start to find a stride. So
for sure. And that's why when I asked before, why is Giannis and Dame working now? It's not like it wasn't working before. It just seems like it's in a great stride. It just seems like things are just clicking, and team chemistry could very well be that. Speaking of Dame, you'll like this quote. I don't know if you saw this one. He was asked, I saw Euro Hoops put this out there. He was asked about finishing his career in the EuroLeague, and his response, a great response, was just, you never know, which is a great response. You don't rule it out, whatever. For those who don't, what would it mean for a guy like Dame? For guys, you pay attention to EuroLeague. You were just at a game recently, weren't you?
Yeah.
For people who don't pay attention, what would it mean for that league to have a guy of Dame Lillard's caliber to even play a season over there?
First of all, it would be crazy if Damian Lillard came to the EuroLeague to play. I know how people go crazy. People go crazy. With all this great talent that comes from the States, right? With Kendrick Nunn and Mike J, all these guys are like, oh my God, these guys are great players. If Damian Lillard came to the EuroLeague, bro, what?
It's like Messi plays for Inter Miami in the MLS right now. I just read I read a couple weeks ago, maybe now at this point, that the Chicago MLS team, the Fire, are trying to get Neymar. And I was like, all right, if Neymar and Messi are playing in the MLS, sign me up for season tickets.
Yeah. And yes, and it's a domino effect. You're going to see more and more guys come to the States to play. Because if you think about it, it's all about the fan base and the talent. So if you can fix the fan base and the talent, that's it for soccer in the States.
I did see the other day MVP candidates, or the top MVP people right now in EuroLeague. Included, you mentioned Kendrick Nunn. But I saw on the list Nigel Hayes is on that list.
Yeah.
Have you seen him play?
Sir. Yeah, I watched him play with my brother. This was 2 years ago when they were playing. I think it was Game 5 in Sev in the Peace and Friendship Stadium in Greece. So I think it was Game 5 to go to the Final Four, and I watched him play there. Like this guy, bro, was great player, man. Great player, and he had, worked his way up too. And he actually that's crazy. He might have played for the Worcestershire Knicks as well, at some point.
He did. I believe he did because he's a Wisconsin
Wow,
guy, right?
I didn't know
He
that.
played. Yeah, he
So
played
they
his
told me,
college ball
yeah,
for the Badgers.
yeah. I just
So I
found
like
out. I
to
just found out like a couple of months ago.
Wisconsin. Oddly, and just because with the Bucks connection and being in Milwaukee, I went to Wisconsin too. The Wisconsin guys who have made careers overseas. We've had a couple
Hmm.
guys go and play in the German league. A couple of guys go and make like very good livings for themselves playing overseas after having a
Yeah.
good career here in the Big Ten. So I was looking at that, and then I saw Kendrick Nunn's name. I think he's like number one right now in MVP voting for in EuroLeague.
Yeah.
How he's just explain to people just what a tear he's put on lately.
Well, he's just playing his game. I think it's one of the chances you give him the opportunity to play. I mean, he did the same thing when he was at Miami and had
Mm-hmm.
like, and he was never offered this like breakout season. Like this guy's an NBA player, man, and he was never offered this breakout season in the NBA because of everything. He maybe trades, injuries, whatever the case might be. But like with Powell, he's doing his thing with Powell, with Panathinaikos, I mean, and like the team is very very happy to have him. Like the Panathinaikos fan base, they're ecstatic to have him.
Yeah, it
Which
looks
is
like
which is
he's
crazy because across the city, across like literally few minutes away, is Olympiacos, who also have another MVP candidate, Sasha Vezenkov.
mm-hmm.
Both those two is like, by the way, totally different players, huh? Totally
just
different
style. You
players.
mean? Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. But they're
Um,
both elite. Both elite.
when you look at so I wanted to get into this conversation with you. So there's two more things I want to hit on here. One being NBA awards, and then the other one is
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant had some things to say about Team USA basketball, and I want to get your opinion on that
Okay.
at the end of this. But
Go.
I think it was Jalen Williams from the Oklahoma City Thunder. And by the way, since they lost the NBA Cup, the Emirates Cup to the Bucks, Oklahoma City's been playing really good basketball. Did you see
Yeah,
their game
yeah.
against the Cavs?
No, I didn't see it. It was crazy.
Oh, they played in Cleveland, and it was I
Yeah.
mean just regular season, one of the
Oh
best
yeah, no, no,
basketball
yeah.
games.
I saw the game. I saw the game. I thought they played two games, right? They played.
Yeah, and then the following week they played in OKC. That one wasn't even
Yeah,
close, but like because
yeah,
OKC just bounced back, and it was
yeah,
that team is special. They're
yeah.
doing some stuff there, but
So that's also crazy, and for the Bucks, that's kudos to the Bucks that's beating them for the cup,
mm,
and like that tells you how good of a team that is, and how good of a like mentality you have. Like that puts like some fire under you when you like lose the cup like that, and then you're like, no, we got to lock in and what I'm saying, and go through all this. And obviously they're very very talented. But what did you say about Jalen Williams?
I
He
was just
said
say
what?
he said the NBA. I believe it was him, but either way, we'll give him credit for this because I think it's a good opinion. He said the NBA should do two Defensive Player of the Year awards, one for guards and one for big men. Would you agree with that?
Yes, yes. But now it's unorthodox because it's been like only one Defense Player of the Year award. But if you notice there's a trend because of like I mean there's a lot of things that goes in defense, right? It's the
Mm-hmm.
steals, right? Deflections, the blocks, defensive rebound. Defensive rebound, it's an accolade. Like it's a defensive rebound. Like get the rebounds, right?
For
That
sure.
goes into it. And obviously occupying space, like guys won't even try to go at you, percentage-wise. So I think what he's trying to say, and I get that, which is very hard. The only reason I said I agree is because there's a lot of players who are in the terms of guard, not power for small forward guard type of
Mm-hmm.
players who would be in this category of Defensive Player of the Year, but haven't earned it because haven't got it because there's another guy who's like 7 feet blocking shots and being in the paint. But it's always been easier for bigger guys to win that award. And so the only guys who have ever won it who are kind of like small forward, power forwards are the the Michael Jordans, so like this is older a little bit because the new trend has always been big guys winning it.
Yeah,
so.
I think the guards are like Jordan, Gary Payton, and Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably a couple others sprinkled in there that I just don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it's like those
which is
three.
crazy. Which is crazy because you see like now with the big guys, you see like Rudy, Jema. Like this is even Jema. I don't think Jema wins if he wasn't playing this position he's playing. He's playing at the 4-5 kind of point forward type of player. You know, he won because he's a great defensive player, and he plays defense all around the court. So I do know where he's come from. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But at the same time, I know why it's not happening because it's
it makes sense. I think you could even go. There are some years where the numbers probably weren't there, but when you talked about just like guys who played either as great help side defense in bigs, like the fact that Brook Lopez, I don't think he's finished over top 3 since he's been in Milwaukee. I don't know about before pre-Bucks, but there are some years where the defense would funnel everything toward Brook and no one was getting to the like he might not have had the 3 blocks per game, but like
it's absurd. It's absurd. There's a year that we should have finished top 2. As a year that Giannis and Brook should have finished top 2, both of them. In terms of defense. So
I think the year that COVID screwed everything up too, the start of that season, that was a wall. Yeah. There was no scoring in the lane against that team.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was fun to watch, man. I remember with everyone just be like, "Let's run it at Brook, see what happens." Good luck. All right, Team USA basketball. So and your recent episode with Cam, you guys did the top 5 American basketball players right now, and in no order at all. It was Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, names like that were on the list. He had Kevin Durant on there as well. Kevin Durant was recently asked about Team USA basketball and if the rest of the world is going to catch up to Team USA, and I think he was talking about like individual teams, like can Spain put together a roster that will ever beat Team USA? Or this country here, this country there.
Yeah,
I don't want to take that angle because I think Team USA can always put together like a bomb squad that can go and win Olympic gold.
Always. They have so much talent, bro. You guys
a
have
ton of talent, but
absurd.
if it was USA versus the world, and you put together a straight up game of the top American players and the top international players, I don't know where Joel Embiid plays in that game. We figure that out later, but I legit think. In today's game, if you pick the top Euro players or just international and the top American players, I think the international team is winning.
But okay, so let's say this. Think about this. It's a country, right, that is playing against countries who have teams who are Greece, 11 million.
Yep.
Serbia, same or less. Who knows? Less. Spain. You're playing against countries who literally their population is like 15 to max maybe 20 million, and you're 310. Maybe. So we're talking about at least in the minimum side of things 10 to 12 times more population for more talent, prospects to come out of college and more talent. Now, basketball wise, I think like it's different. It's not what it is. It's not what it was. To a certain extent, I'll give you an example. Like, I believe that 1960, it was maybe 2 talents that would come out from Europe. 73, 80s, 5, Tony Kukoc, Arvidas, Sabonis, Stojakovic, all the 90s, more. The 2020s and 30s, coming out of France and like all of this, Germany and France and Spain, all this, it's going to be way, way, way more. Way more. Because, it's going to be way more because of, you got to take 2 factors, 2 things that's going to be factoring this. One is the level of play. Mm-hmm. People are getting better. People are practicing better. Like whatever is coming, whatever was in the States, like people have their trainers now in Europe.
Yep.
This was used to be, the United States, I have a trainer, he works me out my whole life, and I go to the league and college, blah, blah, blah. Now it's happening in Europe. Now it's happening in Africa. Now it's happening all around the places. And second of all, is DNA. DNA-wise, people are like, you see like France and Greece and people and everywhere, like and people are having like a lot of players who look like players from the States. So when the level of athleticism goes up, the level of play goes up.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
And you think about it used to be, that's why like back in the day, I don't know, maybe you remember this, and people who listen to this podcast and wrong, please correct me if I say something wrong, because I want to say this the right way, and I want to learn from this. When Yugoslavia was just whole, one, as a country, like when you know what this means, right? When Serbians and all these countries were one, they were unstoppable.
Basketball-wise?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I know like the history of the country and the way things are out there.
Just imagine this. That Dragic, Doncic, Jokic, they're from different countries now,
Yeah.
Slovenia, Serbia. Bogdanovic from Croatia. Hezon, everybody was in one team, one country.
I guess I never really thought about that.
It's crazy. So now that's what it was like. The entire. Remember what you just said about the war internationally. So now think about this. Let's say war against the states. Which war against the states? It's a little bit unfair because now you're talking about Africa, Asia, like just so much population. But let's say it's a good game. It's a great game. It's a great game because if you think about it, 5 of the top. I want to say 4 of the top 5 players
in the league right now.
5 out of 5. Out of 10. Give me the best 10 players in the league.
The best 10 players in the league, just off the top of my head, and I apologize if I forget anybody. I'm going
you
Giannis.
Forget, it's top 10. You can't forget anybody. It's top 10.
Giannis is Giannis, Luka.
Yes.
Tatum.
Yes.
I'm still gonna oh man. This is in no order, correct? Yeah, no specific order here.
No, it's not order. It's just top 10.
I'm putting Wemby in there. I think he's up there.
Up to you.
SGA is up there. Anthony Edwards is up there. I still think LeBron James is in the conversation for the top 10 player in the NBA.
You didn't say Jokic, by the way. You haven't said Jokic.
See, I knew I was under pressure. I correct. Jokic is for sure in there. So I think that's 4 out of my 7 right now are international because SGA is from Canada. I think people forget that. And then also looking, just going through the list right now.
A healthy Embiid is
a healthy Embiid and Steph Curry. There's 10.
A healthy Embiid and a healthy, like all these guys are healthy. And did you say KD?
I didn't say KD. KD's up there.
Obviously, KD is top 10. Yep. So all of these guys, we all know who they are. It's no specific order. They are top 10. So from those top 10, 4 of them or 5 of them, let's say 4.5. I was saying 1/2 because I said no, because if you ask him, he says like I'm Cameroonian. I'm not from Cameroon. Yeah. He says So are from all international players who are like the best of the best. So you can see, just from that alone, you can see like the basketball has changed. The map has changed, the landscape, and it's gonna change because a lot of guys won't be active from the next 2 years. Won't be active anymore.
And I find it interesting.
We have to do another podcast for that as well. I have
to do a podcast where I also have those top 10, and I don't struggle to get through them the way I just did there. But no, you're right. At least worst case, it's a 50-50 split in your top 10, right?
Yeah.
And like the way I look at it, and just like the influence too, the way when you were watching videos of Dennis Rodman and Kobe Bryant or whoever, like the way that you had to access those was so much more difficult than it is even now. Like people just have the NBA is everywhere. The accessibility is everywhere. And you're able to get to things like that no matter and people are going to train. Speaking of international influence, not basketball, did you see the Los Angeles Dodgers just signed the first ever baseball player, a 17-year-old from Sudan?
Yeah, I saw the video. I
thought that was pretty cool.
That was dope. Yes.
Yeah. The Dodgers are signing literally everybody right now, but to get a prospect, a first ever Sudanese player, I thought that was pretty cool.
Isn't that crazy? Do you see now what I'm talking about when I say every sport is evolving, and it's like I said, factor DNA. Like people are learning different sports.
For sure.
And they growing up,
Wait till we get lacrosse more popular in the city. Wait till cricket gets big in the United States. It's over.
I believe that. You
And,
know what I know what I want the states to get more popular, like MLS. Like
oh
I
man,
want
me
the
too.
state. I really believe they have the potential, really, to build. Maybe not this generation, maybe the next generation, but to build this North America Premier League. You
That'd be
know what I
awesome.
mean? Like Premier League
Man,
is
that'd be
like
amazing.
top
It's
tier.
the sport when I was younger and playing basketball, right? All we did was play basketball. So like when you get to elite high school or college, it was just like, all right,
Yeah.
now you're starting to play against people who played other sports. And I always regretted not learning soccer at a young age because as good as I thought, at least in my mind at the time, like against other like college players, like be able to move your feet and slot soccer players, that footwork. If you have a kid right now who is in youth sports, put them in soccer. You're gonna learn footwork, and they'll be that defense. Just, I mean, you know how it goes. Like you
Yeah.
guys obviously grew up
It's
playing
gonna
soccer, and look at your family's
it
footwork.
is.
All of it, elite,
Yeah.
elite.
It's gonna help. It helps so much, like to build the other sports too. So, I it's crazy. Like I really feel this that the world is changing so fast,
Mhm.
and we're all trying to keep up. We're all trying to keep up. But yeah, keep going. Let's say what we got next.
A couple more things I want to hit on as I get to that. I got I know you're on the road, but I had a package delivered for you from our friends here, and I wanted to open it for you on the
Fanatics.
show. Yeah, they sent a little
Open it, open
something
it, open it.
after the wildfires hit LA. They sent you an LA Strong LA Kings hoodie, which it looks pretty
Oh,
cool. But also included in the package, an LA Kings jersey that we got here. But look at this. Look how dope this is.
oh my God.
The Thanasis
Appreciate it. Thank
43
you
on
so
it.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, so thought I would show you that one. We'll make sure you get that in your hands.
Yeah, yeah.
While we're
I'm
talking
gonna wear
about
that next game.
that's smooth. While we're talking about international and just like sports in other places, we got a tweet from a fan who wanted to know. I thought this was a really good question. His name is Nathan. At what point in your life did you discover baseball? He said, "Love that you have Brewers fandom and the family ownership in the team." Do you remember when
Yeah,
you first discovered baseball?
I mean, that first discovered baseball. Obviously, the first time I ever saw something like baseball was from movies. You know, you
Okay.
watch like these movies we were classic, and you watch baseball. Like, oh, okay, it's a sport. You hit the ball, you run, you got to capture
Mm-hmm.
bases, blah blah blah. But then, when I went to the States, I never did baseball till I went now in the playoffs, and then before
Yep.
that, we went to like an excursion to, was it the Yankee Stadium? CC
Probably.
Sabathia. CC
Yep.
Sabathia. And I met him. He was like, oh man. And we met this guy. I met this guy, and I was like, oh man, he should be playing basketball. Like my height, just like big. And I was like, man, he has to be playing basketball. And you know who that was?
If you
You know
okay,
who?
so I'm guessing because you were it had to be Aaron Judge.
I don't know. Yes. And everybody was like,
Yep.
no, he's great at baseball. I'm like, at baseball? This guy's
He's like
he's
6'8".
like, yeah, he's like a basketball player. No, everybody's like, no, he's great at baseball. So I did that, and then I've never been, but that was the first time I kind of was introduced to
So
baseball.
it's interesting that you say CC Sabathia. So he's my all-time favorite baseball player. He played for
Okay.
the Brewers. The Brewers traded for him in 2008 for half a season. He was like a rental, like in the NBA. You get a guy and he becomes a free agent, and he would pitch the full game. He got them to the playoffs for the first time in 26 years. What he did, like he hit home runs, he pitched full games. He only rested 3 days, but he was incredible. And then the Yankees gave him $250 million, and thank you for your service. But he just got elected into the Hall of Fame yesterday.
Oh, congratulations, man. I didn't even,
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't even know. Congratulations, man.
yeah. So he got elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Milwaukee legend. He lived here from July to like October in Milwaukee.
Became a
Legend.
legend, man.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't take that long.
No, it doesn't at all. I did want to hit on why we're rolling. A couple other quick Bucks things for you.
Yeah.
when it comes to just the future, and as I told fans, we'll have like a Bucks-centric episode coming out here in a little bit too. So make sure to like, subscribe, share on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have. By the way, you can tell we're gonna have an episode about like trades and stuff like that. So that's why we haven't really touched on stuff like that, because we're gonna have a specific one that we discuss like everything, and you guys. Trust me, just stay tuned. You're gonna love it. We're gonna have.
Well, then I gotta save my question. I'm gonna save my question for that episode.
Go. We'll just give a little bit.
So this is an off the beaten path kind of name, but I saw his name out there in trade rumors, and I've wanted the Bucks to get a guy like this for a while. Daniel Gafford from the Dallas Mavericks.
Ooh, okay.
He's getting traded? I guess the Mavericks have put his name out there. It kind of surprised me too.
Really?
But he's 7 feet tall. He's athletic. Okay. He can grab rebounds. He's not going to put up. He's not even going to have like an 18 and 12 kind of night, but he can get you 10 and 12. I think if they can get him for the right price, I think a player of his build and his game perfectly fits what I think the Bucks could. That missing puzzle piece that really put him over the edge this year. What do you think?
I'm thinking like Gafford could fit any team. Like he's a great player. Yeah. He's
really good.
He's a great player. He's like, he's really respected in the league. I think any way you put him, he's going to thrive and play. I think it's one of those things that he's evolved too. Like he was playing for the Wizards for a minute, and sometimes not playing for a team that doesn't compete sometimes hinders you. But then looks one of those guys who use the opportunity to get better. You know what I mean? And he's gotten so much way better. That's why I asked. I was like, "What? You traded?"
I saw it come through the other day, and this time of year gets weird. Everyone's like, "Oh, this person possibly." So. Don't take my word for it. He might not get moved at all. But when I saw that pop up, I was like, "Oh yeah, bring him to Milwaukee. What can we get for him?"
I don't even. So crazy. I don't even buy into like the trades no more, because it's happened so crazy. And when you have like intel inside, and like what's actually happening, it's like it becomes like, are you joking right now? What?
If you looked at every trade rumor that hit the internet last year. And all the trades that happened, it's probably like 0.0001% of them actually came through.
It is, but you know what happens too? People have an agenda, and when they talk about stuff, that's why I never talk about trades, because people have an agenda, and then they're trying to see who bites, and then they'll throw a trade out there. Yeah, this might happen. Like, what? That would never happen in a million years, bro. Mm-hmm. And then they throw it there to gain some traction and see what happens.
And that's the thing I don't want to do is like. I don't want you to say a name specifically. Like it's like, oh, Thanasis said the Bucks are interested in.
No. Yeah, I don't want to say a name specifically, but if I do say a name, that means because it's happening. I'm not saying a name just to say it. I'm not doing that. That's why I said, and for me, it's in between. Like you have certain relationships in the league and stuff like that, so you never want to. That's not my place to say anything. That's why we're going to invite the experts don't miss this episode. You're going to invite the experts that do this all day, every day.
Absolutely. So, we're going to have a bunch of people like that coming up. Before we get out of here, TA, remind everyone about the great sponsors of Thanalysis.
Oh, my God. With so much pleasure. Want to say Thanalysis, sponsored by Gruber Law. One call.
That's all.
That's all. I want to thank Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. You guys, they are amazing. Whenever you come to Milwaukee, that's where you want to stay. Amazing food, amazing service. They are top of the top. I want to thank our fans who follow us on YouTube, follow us on the page. The page has been going crazy. Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to share, like, subscribe. You guys are the driving machine behind this. And we have so many surprises for you guys around March.
Hey.
Yeah. You guys have been amazing. Please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, follow the audio, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you get your podcast from. Please don't forget to leave a review, leave a like, and let us know what you think. Hopefully, Tony, we're supposed to get a number for them to be able to call live.
Mm-hmm.
And interact with
We're working
them.
on a couple things. That's not the March surprise, by the way. Yeah, it's not a call.
That's not the March surprise. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much. And again, Thanalysis out.